Okay, good afternoon. We can pretend that I am seeing you right now for the case of the video, okay? Okay, so now if you remember, we had an example from the previous session that we didn't finalize. I want to give you a little bit of time to think about this, and then I will come back and ask your opinion about it and try to solve this problem. And if we have more time, we give you more examples of this kind so that you can improve your skills on analytic geometry. From tomorrow, we will start the new lesson. That the first lesson would be about the circles and some kind of angles that are important for circles. So that becomes just a normal geometry, not analytic geometry. So it means a point is a point, a line is a line, a circle is a circle. Here, a point is a pair of numbers, a line is an equation, I don't know, and a triangle is more or less is not a shape. Of course, it is always a shape, but you can consider it as three lines intersecting pairwise. So we consider them algebraically mainly. Okay, so I would recommend you, so I don't know how much time, the first part and the second part shouldn't take any time from you, but might be the third part is a little bit problematic. I want you to solve the problem yourself first, or at least give it a try, and then when I come back, this is not just I solve and you just listen. I want you to be active in it. Okay, so I think I give you, for the time being, let me give you 10 minutes. If you need more, then I can actually extend it a little bit more, okay? But at least I want to finalize everything about this lesson today. Okay, so I will pause the video, and now you can start thinking about the problem. After 10 minutes, I will ask you if you could solve it or not. And please come up to complete answers and write these answers in the box so that when I solve it myself, I can compare it with yours if that's correct. Okay? And don't use GeoGebra for the time being. Of course, at the end, we will also check GeoGebra, using GeoGebra if possible. But I want you to solve this problem assuming that you don't have access to any digital aid, because it is possible to do it. You probably will not be able to draw the pictures and graphs very precisely, but we really don't need. I want you to understand that for solving these kinds of problems, of course, having a precise picture in front of your eyes makes it easier to understand, but in principle, a rough picture, a rough graph is also enough. We don't need more than that. Okay, so now you will start 10 minutes. I think it's taking too long, so let us discuss what is happening. Okay, so there are 3 points given to you. For understanding it better, I have asked you to sketch this triangle in a coordinate system. So what does it mean? It means that, for example, you can draw a coordinate system. So the maximum value of x that I need is 4, the y value, and then, yeah, so let me draw this like this. So this is my x coordinate, and this is my y coordinate, yes? So A is -3 and 3. So 1, 2, -3 and 3. So it is here. So this is A, yes? So this is my point A. Okay, so here is 3, here is -3. Then I have B, 1 and 1. So 1 and 1 is just here, 1 and 1, yes? So let me consider this B. This is also 1 and 1. And finally I have -1 and 4. So -1 is here, 4 is up there, so that would be point C, yes? So this would be my point C. So this is 4, and here is -1. But now if I complete my...
It's a bit high.
Pardon?
It's one lower. That's 5.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So this is one lower. So this is, so let me make it more clear. So let me write this exactly here. On this is 3, and the next one is 4. So this should be here. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, now if I draw this triangle, so this would be my triangle, yes? So that is my triangle. So you can also make it now bigger. But this is a sketch of the graph, so you don't need to be precise at all. So just convince yourself that this is the picture. Okay, determine the length of the median corresponding to the vertex A. So what you need to know what is the meaning of the median. I don't know if this is exactly in the middle or not, but if I want to draw the median corresponding to this vertex, I go and see the line segment opposite to it, find its midpoint. I don't know if the midpoint is probably here or not, we can calculate of course. And then I draw this line here. This becomes a line segment. I want to measure, calculate its length. Okay? Apparently, if my picture is good, probably you agree with me that this should be the middle. But anyway, let me call, I would say that for part 2, I would say that let M be the midpoint of BC. But we learned before that if I want to calculate the x-coordinates of M, I need to do the average between the x-coordinates of two ends, yes? So x sub b means the x-coordinate of the point B plus x sub c divided by 2. What is x sub b? You can read it, it's 1, you see? The x-coordinate of b is 1, the x-coordinate, so you see my prediction was correct actually. So if I add these two and then divide it by 2, what would be the answer? So it would be 0 divided by 2, which is 0. And I do the same thing for the y-coordinate. I do the averaging between the y-coordinates. It was not trivial, but if you remember, we showed why this is true. So now I can safely use it. Y of b is 1. Y of c is 4, and then divided by 2, so it becomes 5 over 2. And then I think everything is according to what we expect. So if I ask you what is M, you would say that M is a point whose x-coordinate is 0 and its y-coordinate is 5 over 2. So I put this in a box, and then I think you agree with me, this is also being confirmed here. Yes, so this is exactly this point. So my picture was more or less good in this case. So this is my point M. Now, because you see the x-coordinate is 0, so it should lie on the y-axis, and the y-coordinate is 2.5, so it's exactly this point. So the median would be this line. So I need to measure the length of the median. So that is the distance formula, because you want finding the length of a line segment, in other words, means that you need to find the distance between A and M. And then this means that I have to use the formula, the distance formula. So, but the distance formula, so let me rewrite it here for you. It's the square root of the difference between x coordinates, so x of A, x of M to power 2, plus the difference between the y coordinates, y of A minus y of B to the, sorry, y of M to the 2.
Oh, Buck, I'm confused.
Yes?
Isn't the median the midpoint of the triangle?
No, median is a word that I described it to you before. Median is a line. So if I have a triangle, there are 3 medians. A median from here means go and find the midpoint of the opposite side, for example here, and then connect these two together. This is a median. But I can do it, for example, from here. I go and find the middle point here, and then connect this one to this one. This is another median. And then if I do this one, for example, I go here and find the midpoint and connect this vertex to this one. This is the third median. So every triangle has 3 medians. That is the meaning of the word median, yes?
Okay.
Okay, so now if I want to calculate this, everything is ready for me. So I will take the square root. What is x of a? If I go back here, you see x of a is minus 3, x of m is 0. So I would write minus 3 minus 0 squared. And then what is y of a? If you see, y of a is 3, but y of m is 5 over 2. So it becomes 3 minus 5 over 2. And then I have to calculate this to the power of 2. So it becomes equal to square root of minus 3 minus 0 is minus 3 to the power of 2 is positive 9. So what is the answer to this? 3 minus 5 over 2. It is 6 over 2 minus 5 over 2. So it is just 1 over 2. And then you have to square it. So it becomes plus 1 over 4. But because we want to keep the values exact, so let us do the calculation under the square root sign. Instead of 9, I can write 36 over 4. I want to make the denominators the same. So this becomes a square root of 37 divided by 4. And you know that you can write it the square root of 37 divided by square root of 4, which is 2. So this is the end of calculation, and I want you to keep it exact. Otherwise, I should have mentioned. If I don't mention by default, I always mean the exact value. So length unit. So this is the answer to the second part. Is there any questions? Okay. So if someone asks you what is the meaning of this number, it means that if you take your ruler and measure this length, this would be this number. Okay, now the hardest part of this question is finding actually the area. I remember that Casimir actually came up with a very nice idea how to do that. But I also want to do it in a different way. Then I will present Casimir's way of thinking about this. That's also very nice to know. But my point is to learn how to find the height. So you know that if I want to measure, or if I want to calculate the area of a triangle, I can do it in 3 different ways. Of course, there's one way, but in 3 different numbers with different vertices and different sides. So for example, if I want to calculate the area of this triangle, I can measure the size of this. I can calculate the height if possible. I should be able to measure this height, and then I multiply this length by this length and then divide it by 2. It definitely gives me the area of this triangle. But I can do it based on the other vertices and the other sides. For example, I can consider this as my base. Of course, usually in English, when we say base, it means the one on which this triangle is lying on. Okay, but there is nothing here for mathematics. The mathematics doesn't care about where the ground is and then where you are putting it to call it base. So you can say that I can take this one, but this time this would be my height. Yes? So it means that if you can measure this and you can measure this and you multiply them and divide them by 2, then you will get the same answer as you did before, even though each one of these lines have different sizes in general. But it happens that when you multiply them and divide by 2, it doesn't matter. The answers are exactly the same. And of course, you can do it the other way around. You can take this height, multiply this by that, divided by 2. So it doesn't matter which one you want to choose. I don't know. Let us, for example, choose AB. And let us consider this height. Okay? So not to get confused with AM here. It doesn't matter, of course, as I told you before. But let me just consider AB and CH. Let me draw something here. For example, let me change my color to green. So if I draw this height here, yes, and call it CH. The hard part of this problem is actually to measure this green line. Because from A to B, even though we haven't have it yet, but we can actually calculate it because this is the distance between 2 points. So that's no problem. I know the coordinates, I use the distance formula, I calculate the distance between these two. So for the base point, from the base point of view, I don't have any problems. But how do you think, what was your strategy in calculating the green line, if that was your strategy? And if it wasn't your strategy, I want to still you be able to do this. Yeah, okay, now I want to listen from you. Do you have any strategy how to calculate the length of the green line? The length of the green line is not like the length of this line segment AB, because here I know the coordinates of A, I know the coordinates of B, so immediately I can use the distance formula. But for the green line, even though I know the coordinates of C, but still I don't know the coordinates of H. Okay? So this is the only problem. The first thing that you need to concentrate is to find the coordinates of H. In that case, using the distance formula, you can find this height. Now I want to listen from you. Just tell me, how can I calculate the length of this green height?
So I did it a bit differently. I don't know if it's right, but
no, I listened to that later. If that's not your strategy, I'm asking you to tell me, because this is also important. Might be in a question they just ask you about to finding the height. Okay? So I want you to know that. Then I will listen to other ideas. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But now let us try. You should be able to do it. I am asking you, can you find the exact value of this green height? If yes, how? You just tell me how. I will do it here for you.
So we have the length of AB.
Yes.
And we could say that that's the base of the triangle, and we have the area of triangle.
No, we don't have. The problem is what we want to find the area of the triangle. The reason that I am interested in finding the height is because using the length of the height and the length of AB, then I can find the area of the triangle.
Never mind, I made a minor mistake. I follow.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I had an idea, but I don't think it will pan out.
No problems. Just let me know about it. Might be there are some minor mistakes that I can fix it for you.
So I think that CH line is the perpendicular. Is perpendicular to AB.
Yes.
So I thought about finding the K value of the AB and then switching it so it's the CH value.
Yeah, that very nice. Very nice. So up to here is actually what I want to do in principle.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But can you tell me what would be, why this is useful? So assume that you know the equation. So I think you are going to find the equation on which the line segment CH lies. Yes?
Yeah, that was my idea.
So that was the idea, and that's good. But let us look a little bit ahead before starting the calculation. Because even in the exam or whatever, it's not good. Assume that you did it. How it become useful? Because if you cannot answer this question, that why this is useful, then why should I bother to do it? But now can you just try to expand your point of view to say why having the equation of the line on which CH lies will be helpful for the purpose of this problem?
That's where I'm stuck at.
Okay, I think so. Gustav started the right point. If any other one wants to come to contribute, why do you think, if according to Gustav, we find the equation of the line segment CH, it becomes useful.
So maybe if you know the k value of AB,
Yes.
then you know that the k value of H to C will be the negative reciprocal of what?
Yeah, I know. This is exactly what Gustav mentioned.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
assume that you did all these details. Finally, your goal is to find an equation for line CH. I agree with you. Assume that you are in that position. You have the equation of this line. How it could be useful?
Yeah, so maybe you can, so knowing the k value, you can, knowing the k value and knowing the C point, you could use it to find point H with the k formula y2 minus y1 divided by, that one.
No, let me, it's not clear what I'm saying. So what you are talking about is helping me to find an equation for CH. These details that you are bringing up gives rise to actually finding an equation for CH. Now I am telling you, assume that you are in that position. Assume that you have what you want. You have an equation for line CH. That was not the goal. The goal was to calculate the area. Then how this will fit into the scheme of finding the area? Can you tell me?
If you have a line, okay, you can say it.
Yes?
Well, CH is the height, and if you get the height and you get the base, then
No, by finding an equation, you are not finding the height. You are finding the equation for the height. You don't need an equation for the height. You need the length of the height eventually.
But can we do what I...
Let me, because this is the right one. Let us do the calculations, might be, but this is not good because in mathematics might be you are spending a lot of time to calculate something, even though this is correct. What is the benefit of doing that? If it is not useful at the end, it means that you have wasted a lot of effort to calculate something which you don't know how to use it. If there is no use for that, it's better ignore it, even if you can calculate it. So this is important because there are many things that in mathematics you can calculate. So why we should calculate all the things? You need to learn. This is the process of thinking. I want you to learn this. It doesn't matter how many problems I solve for you. At the end, you should be independent of a teacher. Okay? So this is the way that you need to think. As okay, if you want, I can calculate it for you. But at 10 minutes later, we will be in the position that we are right now. Okay? With too much effort, we were able to find CH, an equation for CH, then we don't know what to do. But this is I want you to correct this way of thinking. There are many things that you can calculate even correctly in this problem. But should we calculate all of them in case we need them? This is not a good idea. This is not a very efficient way of thinking. Before doing your calculation, think about, okay, I know, so what you said, tell me that you know how to calculate an equation for this line. So far, so good. Is it useful to have this equation? If you cannot answer to this, so why we should find CH? Why don't you find an equation for AB? You can also. Why don't you find an equation for BC? You can also find an equation for BC. Might be it is useful, might be not. That's my point. I don't want you to start calculating a lot of things without having a strategy why this is useful. Anyway, but let me relax you a little bit. So what you are saying is completely correct. Let us consider. I want to find a k. I want to write an equation for this line. Two pieces of information I need. I need 1 point on the line. That's no problem. From all these infinitely many points, I have the coordinates of one of them. So that's good. But I also need the k value. I don't know the k value here, but I know that because I know these 2 points, according to the k formula, I can find the k value of AB. And then because, as you said, it is perpendicular to AB, CH is perpendicular to AB, by calculating the negative of the reciprocal of the k value of AB, I immediately find the k value of CH. Now I have the k value of CH. I know the coordinates of 1 point, which is C in this case, of this line. So in principle, using the 1 point formula, I should be able to find an equation for CH. But if you don't know why this equation is useful, this is, I would say, a waste of time. But because now I am your teacher, I know that this can be useful, so let us just do it right now. Okay? So what I do first, I would write the k value of line segment AB. Yes? We have a formula. The difference between y coordinates of the endpoints. It doesn't matter you write A first or B, but you need to respect to write the x coordinates in the same order as well. So let us go back here. Let me make it a little bit smaller. So what is y of the point A? You can read it from the problem. It is 3 minus y of point B is 1 divided by x of point A is minus 3, x of point B is 1. So in the numerator I will have 2, in the denominator I will have minus 4, and then I will have minus 1 over 2. Okay, but now because CH is perpendicular, this symbol that I'm using means perpendicular to AB. Now tell me immediately without further waste of time. So yes, it is 2, thank you. So k of CH is 2. The negative of the reciprocal. The reciprocal of this is 2, and then I have a negative sign. So the negative of the reciprocal becomes 2. So it means that I was able to find exact value for the k value of CH. And then I use the 1 point formula that you had the test for it. So y minus y node is equal to the k value x minus x node. So this implies that I have y minus y node. Okay, can you look at the problem and tell me what is y node in this problem?
4.
4, yes. Because we are not confused, we want to use the y coordinate of one of the points on the line. I don't know any points on the line except for C, so that I see that the y coordinate is 4. Thank you. So this becomes 4. A k value is this 2 that I just found, and then x minus minus 1. Let us do simplifications a little bit. So it becomes y minus 4, so 2x plus 1. I multiply 2 in, so it becomes 2x plus 2. Then I move 4 to the right, so it becomes 2x plus 6. So this is an equation. So an equation for CH. You see, this is different from the height. This is not a number, you see. This is just an equation. By looking at this equation, you cannot conclude any number for the height. Do you understand what I said? This is what I am saying. If you don't know what to do with this equation, you will spend some time here to come up with this one. That is 100% correct. But if it is useless, even if it is 100% correct, it is not relevant to the problem at all. This is my point. You need to be able to put yourself in the position of the finalized form of what you want to do. This is your finalized form. So what is the benefit of that? Still, this is not good for my purpose, because my purpose is to find the length. This is not a length. This is an equation of this line segment. Of this line. Okay? So this is an equation. Okay, how having the equation, now this is the important question, how this equation will help me, if possible, I don't know, how this will help me to find the length. This is the missing part, which is still missing after all these correct calculations.
If this is the equation, isn't the point C?
No, don't try to cook up stories. No, there is nothing that tells you where, because this is a line. You see, line goes to infinity from both directions. You just want a line segment. You don't know, is it here or is it there? No. Abdullah actually was good in answering this, but he's silent. I don't know why.
A system of equation.
Yes. Why can we system of equations between what?
Between CH and AM. AB, I mean.
AB, okay? So why this is good? Can you elaborate why this is good? It gives you what if you solve a system?
It gives you the point where and the line.
Call it. There is a name for it.
Yes.
It gives you what?
Where they intersect.
No, don't say there is a name for that intersection. Call it this point. What?
Call it.
What?
Yes.
No, what is that point? It gives me. So you are telling me find a system, write this as one equation, write AB as another equation, and assume that again, the same scenario. Assume that you solve this and find x and y. What are those numbers?
Point. The number of the point.
This is not a. So by number you mean coordinate?
I know.
Yes, so you shouldn't say numbers. Yes, Gustav, say.
It's the perpendicular bisector.
No, come on.
Come on.
So don't tell me so. If you say something like that, I would be very sad actually. So
I thought I knew.
no, but let me say. So I don't know what's happening to your brain. So let me just ask you one. So what you are saying is completely correct, Abdullah. You said that you get numbers. First of all, you shouldn't say numbers. You should say coordinates. Yes, if you mean really coordinates. So coordinates of which point on this picture? Which point? Can you tell me?
Coordinate of G.
Where is G?
No, I mean. That's. Like.
Hoi. H. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why you are making things complicated. I am asking you, if you solve this, what do you find? You should say, I will find the coordinates of the intersection point H, or just say H. Yes? Okay, that's correct. And then everyone knows that this is useful, because if I find the coordinates of H, then what will happen? I know C, I know H, so I can find the distance. So this is a long problem actually, okay, if you want to solve it in that way. So let us do it together immediately. So you realize that I want to put this equation with this equation in a system. If I put two equations in a system and solve it, it gives me the coordinates of the intersection point. This is really crucial to understand. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to find the k value of AB, which I already did. It's this number. And then either I use A or B and 1 point formula to write an equation for AB as well. So if you don't mind, let us concentrate on one of them, alphabetic order. So let me concentrate on A, these numbers. B is, by the way, B is simpler. The numbers are smaller. So let me use B. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So if I want to write an equation for AB, I use the 1 point formula again. The formula is in front of your eyes. But this time, instead of Y node, I put 1. And instead of X node, I put also 1. Because I'm using B, you can equivalently use A, it doesn't matter at the end. But instead of K, I put the K value for AB, which is -1/2. So then it becomes Y minus 1 equals to -1/2 X minus 1. And then I will start simplifying this. So this becomes Y minus 1 equals to -1/2 X plus 1/2. and then I move one to the
You are
other.
using the b coordinate for this.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then you move one to the right, it becomes positive 1. If I add them, it becomes minus 2x plus 3 over 2. Yes? So if I ask you what is this that I have found here, you would say that this is an equation for AB. So let me simplify this. Now I put them in a coordinate in a system of equations. The equation of CH on the one hand, the equation for this on the other hand, and then I start solving them to find x and y. Okay? So what can I do? I use the method of substitution. Instead of this y, for example, I can put this y. So then what happens? So let me write. It becomes 2x plus 6 is equal to minus 1 over 2x plus 3 over 2. So let us multiply it by 2 to get rid of fractions. So it becomes 4x plus 12 is equal to minus x plus 3. Then I move x to the left, it becomes 5x. I move 12 to the right, it becomes minus 9. So x becomes minus 9 over 5. So this, if I ask you what is the meaning of this number you found, you would say that the x coordinate of this number is minus 9 over 5. You see, it is very close to minus 2. Okay, and this picture, this rough picture also somehow confirmed that it is very close to minus 2. And then what I do, I put this in this equation, for example, to find y. So y becomes, I multiply x by 2, so it becomes minus 18 over 5. Then I add 6 to it. So if you simplify and calculate this, so it becomes 12 over 5. Yes, so this is the y coordinate. So what I can do now, so this means that, so let us go to the other page. So finally I was able to find the coordinates of h. The coordinates of h are minus 9 over 5 and 12 over 5.
Wasn't it negative 12 over 5?
Let me check. No, it is positive.
Okay.
Yeah. And now what is my purpose? My purpose is to find the length. It means the distance formula between C and H. So it means the square root of the difference between x coordinates, x of C minus x of H squared plus y of C minus y of H squared. So I am using the distance formula here. So if I write it down, let me go to the previous page. C, the coordinates are minus 1 and 4. I put them there. So let me write C in front of our eyes. It's minus 1 and 4. So I put them here. So it becomes minus 1 minus 9 over 5, which becomes positive 9 over 5 squared. And then plus y of C4 minus 12 over 5 squared. Yes? So then what I can do, I can just simplify this a little bit. So you can use your calculator, but these are simple calculations. So it's minus 5 over 5. So this becomes 4 over 5. And then I square it, it becomes 16 over 25. And the other one, I can write it as 20 over 5. So it becomes 8 over 5. When I square it, it becomes 64 over 25. Yes? So if I add them, it becomes square root of 80 over 25. But what can I do? I can write square root of 80, square root of 25. Square root of 25 is 5. I can do better for this one. So why? Because I can write square roots of 80 to be square root of 5 times 16. But square root of 16 is 4. It's better to write it in that way. So I put it here and there. So it becomes this one. So you see CH, the length of CH is equal to 4 times square root of 5 divided by 5 length units. So that is the height of my triangle. So it should be able for you to calculate this number from scratch. Okay, even though you can find a better solution for the area, as Casimir actually suggested. I probably will not have time to discuss about that. I will give you the idea, and I will give you as home assignment if you're interested to do that. But then let us finalize this problem finally. What I need more, I need to find the length between A and B. So I calculate the distance using the, yes?
Before you continue.
Yes?
I was just a bit confused about the system of equations.
Yes?
Did you use it to find the intersection between the two lines?
Yes, the intersection is H, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what is AB now? AB is the distance formula x of A minus x of B squared, y of A minus y of B squared. But so let me just read them. What is x of A is minus 3, that is 1. So it becomes minus 3 minus 1 squared. And the other one, what is y of A is 3 minus 1 squared. I'm just putting the numbers in. So it becomes 16 plus 4. Which becomes square root of 20, but square root of 20 I can write it as 4 times 5. Square root of 4 is how much? Is 2. So it becomes 2 square root of 5 length unit. So this is your AB. But now everyone knows about the area. The area is how much? Is equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by AB multiplied by CH. So this becomes 1 over 2 multiplied by AB is 2 square root of 5 multiplied. What was CH? CH was 4 square root of 5 divided by 5. So you should be able to simplify this as well, yes? So what is the answer? So you see this is square root of 5 multiplied by square root of 5 becomes 5. But that 5 and this 5 in the denominator is simplified, yes? And then this 2 and that 2 are simplified. So what is left for me is just 4. So it becomes 4 area units. Yes? Yeah, everything seems fine, yes? So you see, this was a lengthy problem, but it was teaching you a lot of things. I wouldn't consider, I agree, this is tedious problem. But it is, I would say it's elementary, because what you are just using the distance formula several times, and then you are using the K formula and using an equation for the lines. So everything is also included in this one. So, but let me just describe in these 3 minutes the idea of Casimir's how to solve this problem. So let me change my color to a different color. So he was saying that let me complete this square. As I understood when he was talking about this. Yes, it's not a square, it's a rectangle. My point is to calculate this area. If I ask you, can you calculate the area of this rectangle? It is very simple, yes? How much is this length? Is from 1 to minus 3. Everyone knows this is 4 units. And everyone can read this. This is 3 units. So the area of this one is just 12. But if I ask you what is the area of this one, and the area of this one, and the area of this one, you can immediately calculate all of them. So if I ask you what is the area of this, it is 2 units, 1 unit. If you multiply them and divide by 2, it becomes 1 unit. Let me write it here. So this is 1. Area of this is 1. If I ask you what is the area of this one, you can immediately do that. It becomes 2, 3. So the area is how much? 2 times 3 divided by 2, which is 3. So the area here is 3. The area here was 1. And what is the area here? It's 2 times 4 divided by 2. So it becomes 4. Okay? And what was the total area? Do you remember what was the number? It was 4. And what was here? It was 3. So it was 12. So I need to calculate 12 minus 1 minus 4 minus 3. What's the answer, by the way? What is that? It's 11, 7, 4.
4.
So it is amazing, you see? So he was able to calculate this in a matter of seconds. And that is exactly the same answer we got after all these calculations. So it's a very, very nice idea, don't you see? Don't you think so?
I think Casimir's version is more efficient, but I also think the version we did is very educational.
Yes, it is educational. And of course, the reason that I want, even though I knew about this, but let me just do it in this way, because the Casimir method is only useful if you want to calculate the area. By the way, by the Casimir method, if you want, you can also calculate this height. Why? Because now that you know the area, and then you know this length, it's easy to find this length. So you can write the area, which is 4, is equal to 1 over 2, the height, CH, which is missing, multiplied by the length of AB. So if you put AB there, which is possible to calculate, what was the number? Do you remember? It was 2 square root of 5, yes? And this 2 and that 2 are cancelled, so CH becomes 4 divided by square root of 5. But this one is exactly the number that we found. You can check it yourself. So you see, this is also useful. Here we wanted to find the area, so we wanted to find this one first and this one and then multiply. But in his method, we find the area. If someone asks us about the height, after finding the area, doing it in a reversed order, we can find that one. We can find the height. And this is always possible. But I mean that this is a very, very nice method of finding the area. But you still, I don't say that you don't need to understand this. You should be able to understand that these topics that you want to find the intersection points are actually extremely useful. Okay, but I'm completely sure that this method he presented is a much more efficient way to do it. You can calculate it in a matter of seconds, by the way. You don't need to do messy calculations at all. Okay, so I would say that thank you. So next time we will continue